this case, by those devils in skirts, the Highlanders. We have representatives of the 42nd and the 79th, the Black Watch and the Camerons. We have behind them, with the wings on their shoulders, the Light Company of the 3rd Foot Buffs, and a gun guard representative of the Royal Horse Artillery, and last but not least, the famous 95th Rifles, depicted in this case by a 3rd Battalion representative, armed with the only rifled weapon on this battlefield at this time. Beautiful, steady drumbeat, delivered exactly to ordinary time pace, the standard and marching rhythm of the Napoleonic Wars. As they form up in front of you, 2 ranks deep, which was the customary fighting positions, they will make ready to deliver for you 2 crisp volleys. Bear in mind, they will be loud. If you think I'm loud, think again. These will definitely be loud. If you wish to protect the hearing of young people amongst you, please do so, and or protect your own hearing by gently cupping your hands over your ears. If you wish to further get rid of any problems from the percussive wave of pressure that is induced by firing these gunpowder weapons, allow your jaw to go slack. That will equalise the pressure inside your head. What you don't do is stuff both fingers in your ears. That adds to the pressure in your head. Did I lie about the loudness? Anyone, I'm not spotting any, but anyone with nervous animals around, like dogs who aren't trained as gun dogs, then be aware of the fact that we will tend to make them a bit jittery today, to say the least. Crisp volleys, ladies and gentlemen. With regards to the mechanism involved, they have only a flint scraping down a piece of hardened steel, delivering a spark to a pan. This is not known to be incredibly reliable. A little bit more reliable than the matchlocks of previous times, but not that much more. So crisp volleys with no misfires are excellent, showing well-maintained weapons. They are now dispersing towards the crowd lane. We will show you in complete detail the loading procedure. So under the command of firing under instruction, they will prime and load. They'll grab the cartridge from the cartridge pouch whilst placing the piece level with the right hip, whilst keeping it elevated pointed upwards slightly. They will bite into said cartridge. Try not to bite too deep because a mouthful of gunpowder goes through your digestive system rather aggressively. They will spit out that little bit of paper whilst they will pour a generous pinch, but only a generous pinch, into the pan. You do not want to overprime the piece because you do not want an explosion going on sideways by the side of your very own head. Very dangerous for your hair and other bits of your equipment, not to notice about the man who might be standing close to you if you're close for rats. They will then close the pan and about the piece. They will then pour the remainder of the charge down the barrel and they will ball that up. Normally, this would also contain the 1 ounce lead ball. They will place it gingerly in the muzzle of the weapon, trying to keep the vast amount of their hands out of the way. Just a finger, just to insert it down to the barrel. Then they will deal with the ramrod. Withdrawn smartly, twirled about in the air, and the business end is then presented to the top of the cartridge to smoothly ram it home. Notice finger and thumb kind of motion with your hands inverted. This is a moment of danger, of risk. You are ramming a cartridge down into the end of a barrel that's been recently fired. It's hot down there. If the gunpowder's going to cook off without it being directly under your control, now is one of the worst times. So as you return said ramrod, you keep your hand flat and well away from the muzzle. You indicate to your commanding officer that you have returned your ramrod and that your hand is out of the way. You are then... They will bring the hammer to full cock position. They will level the weapon at the enemy under the command of the head. Beautiful, crisp volley. Yet again, all of the weapons proving to be reliable. So a full set of 1 ounce balls would have been sent down line at a nice chest height. Notice the order given was to present. The order was not given to aim at anything. When you're handling a standard soldier's musket, you do not aim. You just level them and fire a huge multitude of nasty lead balls towards the enemy. And yet again, incredibly timed crisp volley. We appear to have an enemy encroaching. The enemy appear to have deployed their skirmishers. So the order will be given for the light infantry to show us their light infantry tactics. They will come out as a block and then they will spread themselves out in pairs to a regulation spacing. They will, in their pairs, pick a target, because these people definitely do aim, and in their pairs they will make certain that one person out of the pair is always loaded. They will not move positions or take aim at a target until they have coverage from the person in their pair. These were taken as being very, very active, very, very intelligent soldiers who were given some command to pick their own targets. Notice, this being close to the heavies, they had to lie down at that point, otherwise suffer extremely from very, very unfriendly, friendly fire. we have a pair marching forward in the ranks, one of whom, the 95th Rifleman, is aimed with the Baker rifle. He would have a slower rate of loading because he would have to make certain that his bullet engaged in the lands of the mechanism to spin his bullet, thus making it a rifle. His rifle would have been accurate to nearer 200 plus yards. These gentlemen will be aiming for specifically drummer boys as their first target, because on a noisy battlefield they would have been responsible for delivering many of the orders of the chain of command. Take them out and you break apart part of the structure. After the drummer boys, you're after the colour party around the flag, and you're after the senior officers. And if you're a rifleman, you've got the aiming capability to probably make certain delivery on that target. Notice, having fired, they are now retiring. Always with a man in front, always loaded, always covering, always capable of taking out an enemy skirmisher who might be tempted to try to encroach. Note, the second man always states that he's ready so that the first man can pick his target and fire. The heavies in their big block, they deliver what would have been approximately 1,000 balls into the encroaching enemy's main group. Entrance hole approximately 3/4 of an inch wide. Exit hole, however, would have been considerably larger. That hot lead would go in and then spread its kinetic energy to the nearest piece of bone, probably taking a last section of bone and muscle out of your body. This is where it gets very gruesome. And here we have complete volley fire of the whole block. The light infantry having rejoined. It took about 3 years to train a soldier in the action of being able to deliver 3 rounds a minute with this weaponry, with this level of equipage and engineering. A light infantryman would have taken considerably longer to become proficient and accurate. Note, the second rank steps up to deliver their weapons level with and slightly behind the shoulders of the front rank. The front rank lean backwards to absorb the recoil of their weapons, thus forming a solid block of locked up people, whereby the pens will not cause them a problem with sideways flashes from their priming pans. Ladies and gentlemen, your Napoleonic warriors salute you! Yes, now's a brilliant time, thank you. So we have had the gentleman in the 42nd and the 179th, the Black Watch and the Camerons. We have had the gun guard of the Royal Horse Artillery and a representative of the 3rd Battalion 95th Rifles. Ladies and gentlemen, your Napoleonic display team. They will now make certain all weapons are clear, because they daren't leave this arena with loaded weapons in your midst. And having ascertained that they are clear, they will march adroitly from the arena. Little glance around to make certain that there aren't any cartridges that are still full of gunpowder in the arena. Always a risk when you're handling cartridges in pouches by the side. We have one flint that's deciding to prove a little stubborn, but indeed did deliver a fat spark into the pan to end up with the discharge successfully of the weapon.